everybody. Welcome back to What You Don't See. We're here in a bedroom for a little bit of girl talk. This one's going to be a little bit steamy, but we're going to hopefully share some tips if you're going through this hard time. We're going to be talking about catching your partner cheating. It happens a lot. It's happened to all of us. It's happened to all of us. Not our current partners, obviously, but in the past, it's happened to all of us, and it's probably going to happen to you at some point. Hopefully not.
Hopefully not.
Hopefully not.
Take that back.
Sorry I said that. But let's talk about, first of all, it's a horrible feeling, right? I mean, it's one of the worst feelings ever. You just feel so betrayed. The person you're used to confiding in is like no longer the person you can confide in anymore. They were your best friend. And then they're not, you know what I mean? So what do we do? What do you do when you find out your partner's cheating?
You leave. I'm just kidding. That's not for everyone.
I mean, that's my advice is like, you don't have to put up with, you don't have to put up with that. But realistically, not everybody's going to leave. Relationships do come back from infidelity and they become happy relationships. It is possible. So, Sarah, you've been cheated on.
Yes, my first marriage was horrific.
Okay, how did you deal with that?
I couldn't prove it, and he denied it. And I would the bad thing is you drive yourself crazy because at the end of the day, the only person who suffers is you. And then I would feel it, and I knew it in my gut, but I couldn't prove it. So I couldn't leave him because I had no proof, right? And you grew up in a household where you don't get divorced. You don't get, you stick it through, you make things work. And that's how I was raised. And so if I couldn't prove it, I couldn't leave him. So when I finally did get to prove it and I had the strength, I mean, you go through so much turmoil while you're married during that time. I was a stick. I mean, I'd like to be a stick now, but I was a stick then because I was so sick of just worry and, living in fear. And I was married for those 6 years. It was not a good place to be in. It's just such not a good place to be in. So what my recommendation is don't stick in a marriage where you are being cheated on. And another thing is to set your boundaries before you get into the relationship of what you will deal with and what you will not put up with. And when you go into a different marriage with structured boundaries and knowing yourself more and having your voice, then you have so much more of a better partnership. I would say don't get married until you have found your voice and you have that self-love, so you don't end up in a place where you don't know how to get out of it, or you're stuck in a relationship because you didn't do the self-discovery work of yourself first and of your partner.
Agreed.
It sort of destroys your self-esteem for a little bit.
Because
you start to think, I'm the problem.
Exactly.
I wasn't good enough. I wasn't beautiful enough. I wasn't interesting enough. I'm the problem. What did I do to make them want to do this? Cheating 99.9% of the time has nothing to do with you.
At all.
Oh no, or they tell you you're crazy.
Yeah.
You're crazy.
Yes.
You're psycho. Why are you so psycho? And I'm like, I know you're cheating on me, right?
Gaslighting.
Oh my God, that's
gaslighting.
horrible.
They will deny.
They gaslight, make you seem like you're crazy,
psycho.
that you're imagining things, you're overreacting. How come you're not cool? How come you're not chill? But we always know. Like our instinct, like
Deep down, you always know.
Our gut feeling will tell us, and it's usually right. That's one thing my gut feeling is always right. Today, what did I say? 2:00. What happened? So yes, I trust you, baby. Yeah. And when I got cheated on, I knew the night that he was out that something was going on.
like you just felt it.
I just felt it. The way he was acting, the times that he was calling me. I did not find out till months later when that girl and her friend got angry at each other, and her friend had to come and tell me. Right? By the time
messed up.
I know.
Thank you, girl. Just give me a Xanax before you tell me, please. So now that's my role, guys. If I'm married with someone and they're cheating on me, just go give me a Xanax, break the news to me, put me to bed.
Go to sleep.
And then I'll wake up tomorrow and I'll be fine. So, but it was the ugliest feeling.
It's gut wrenching. Like you can't breathe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, my heart, my stomach. He got to my house trying to explain because when they were telling me, the other girl was calling him like, hey,
No.
she just found out. So he was at my door and it was just
my
heartbreaking. And
Is this their ex-husband or?
no, this was actually the only person that I feel that I had a real connection with. So I think that was harder. And I had 3 other opportunities to get back with this person. And I'm so glad I always shut it down because I couldn't do this.
Yeah.
I could not be in a relationship where I wasn't going to trust him.
Right.
Yeah, I got cheated on with one of his girls' friends, you know, that the type of girls that they tell you, like, don't worry about her, like, that's just my friend, you know, like, you have nothing to worry about.
You're being
you know?
crazy.
Yeah, and then I found out through her boyfriend, well, at the time, right? And he just messaged me on Facebook like, am I the last person to find out about this? And I was like, no, I am. I was like, I had no idea either, you know? It was super crazy. But at this point in my life, I can, like, that breakup that happened, because I was with this person for like over 5 years, and I thought this was like my soulmate and this and that, you know? And that breakup is what made me who I am now, you know, because that was like, oh yeah, like I'm gonna prove you wrong, and I'm gonna, you know, like I'm gonna like outdo all of y'all, you know, or whoever was involved in all those situations. But yeah, it was super sad. I would cry. It was the point of my life where I think I was it was the lowest, where I had no idea what I was doing. I was literally like throwing chairs through, like, there's a hole in my sister's like door, because I was so pissed off, and I just wasn't myself. I was so angry. I was crying. Like, my mom was like, what the heck is wrong with you? Like, what is going on? I was like, I couldn't tell. I'm like, well, I got cheated on because everybody hated him, you know? I was like, nobody even liked them.
Yeah.
Because parents always know, like, your siblings
always
always
know.
know.
They
Like, the
always
people
know.
that love you,
They know.
they know. And then sometimes we're just too blind to realize that, you know.
We don't want to hear it.
You don't want to
see
hear it because you're so in love and you're so like infatuated with this like reality that maybe doesn't even exist anymore. Or it just sucks. In the beginning, it's always like super like rainbows and butterflies. And then, you know, like things begin to happen.
Reality.
Like reality kicks in and you're like, well, maybe this is not the person I always dreamt to be with. So leave. If you're going through it, leave. Like, there are so many other dudes out there that are willing to give you the entire world.
I truly believe that guys need women more than women need men.
Oh yeah, 100%.
100%. You hold
That's
the power.
why men go into relationships right away, and women are like, I can't believe he just went in, because men need women.
Yes, they can't be
They
alone.
need a woman. They can't be alone.
They can't be. And we should bring a guy. I have a guy that I could bring that will be perfect for that. He can't be alone.
I think
He
I know
cannot.
who it is.
He
But
cannot.
yeah, so like you hold more power in the relationship, in my opinion. You're not going to have issues finding another partner.
Not at all.
I mean, you shouldn't go. I don't think you should go from one relationship to the next immediately. I think you do need time to heal, to grieve, to do your inner work. But I think for the most part, women have an easier time finding partners than men. You know, like women are always turning down men all the time.
Women are always turning down men.
all the time.
But I also feel, I feel, yes, it's true, but I feel we have a harder time kind of like trusting.
Yes.
That
because we have so
figure
much
again.
trauma.
Yeah, because of what previous, like if you were cheating on and stuff, it's like you believe that. But that's why you have to find that right partner. Like you said, like you have to go through all the BS and then like heal and realize exactly what it is that you want to attract in a partner, right? So
and
healing
not come
is
out
key.
and not come out bitter.
Yeah.
Because there's some friends that they go through divorce or whatever, right? And then they're bitter and they're angry at all men.
Yeah.
That's
At
not
all
what
men.
we want to do. You know, we are all different people. We're all different creatures. And so you have to come out of anything not bitter.
Yeah, I don't think it changed me. I still trust. I don't have trust issues. I'm the type that I will go into a relationship and it'll never cross my mind that you're cheating on me. And I'm never going to question you. And if you want to go do your thing, you go do your thing. I think that I know of, that has been the only time that I've been cheating. And that is how bad I am. That I don't, my girlfriend tells me, you are not very aware of your surroundings. Like, she's like, sometimes she wants to go places with me because I am very...
That's good. You
head,
live in a state of bliss.
Happiness.
Yes.
Of happiness.
So when when I'm with somebody and then I start feeling, okay, there's something wrong, then cut the umbilical cord. Right? Because if you feel it,
more than likely it's,
you know.
yes, and these guys don't change. That same guy that cheated on me to this day still tries to come back. And now he's married. And he's still, I love you. I love you. I love you.
No.
Yes,
Yeah.
and it's so
Things
sad
don't-
because I would have been that person if I would have chosen to be with him.
Sad.
It's sad.
Sad.
Yeah.
I think healing is key though, because if you don't heal, you're going to carry that trauma with you to the next relationship. And what if you're in a healthy relationship or that person is, mentally stable, and you're going to bring that trauma into that relationship, and you're going to it's going to end up not working out because you're the unhealed person. You have to work on yourself. You have to go to therapy. We're going to have a whole other episode just on therapy. But after you've been cheated on, you have to go to therapy. Like, I cannot stress that enough. You experience something extremely traumatic. Don't downplay it. It is traumatic.
Oh, yeah.
The betrayal, the self-esteem, like, it is very traumatic. And if you don't work on yourself and that trauma, you're going to carry it forward with you. And it might ruin other relationships in the future.
And I do want to say something here. We talked about it earlier. So somebody said, "Oh my God, I didn't realize your husband had cheated on you." And I was like, "What are you talking about? My husband right now?" And they're like, "Well, yeah, I mean, how you have your Facebook, you have your husband and your name." And I was like, don't assume just because a woman has the two names on there that her husband has cheated on her, or the woman is cheated on the man.
Why do people assume that? Like, I always see that it's like, oh, it's like a burn between men. Like, well, at least I don't share my Facebook with my wife.
Yeah.
Like, why? Like,
it's dumb, right?
Yeah.
And the only reason I added my husband onto mine was because I have a stalker, right? And so I had to protect myself. It's easier. The stalking stopped. So having my husband's name on my Facebook protects me from anything that I don't want
weirdos.
to have. From
Weirdos aren't going to message you if it says Marty and Sarah Hammond. They're like, well, what if Marty reads it? You know, like, So I guess that's a good way to protect yourself from creepers and weirdos.
And especially with what I went through with my past, it's like a protective gear for me to have my husband, associated to my
Ooh,
Facebook.
I'm gonna do Magda and Bosco.
Bosco is her dog.
Yeah, so I don't get creepers.
Mosca and Bosco Magdalena.
but like you said before.
Oh, did I call you Mosca?
Mosca and Bosca.
Magda and Bosco
Bosco.
Magdaleno. That's a tongue twister.
That was. Okay.
But like you
grabbing
said
donuts
before,
is hard.
it is very important to heal yourself prior to, because me personally, like I got cheated on like so many times. Like, what? You got cheated on? I was like, dude, I mean, but like I said, sometimes it's good for you because you're in the wrong relationship, and
Exactly.
otherwise you wouldn't have moved from there, because we get too comfortable sometimes with someone because, well, I've been with him for 10 years and this is like the guy that I was with since high school, and and you get so attached and you get like stubborn into like something, and
that is true.
And then it's hard to let go, until they do something bad, and then you'll forgive it, and then they do it again and you forgive it because you're just stuck there. So yeah, I don't know why
We start to believe that we'll never have that same connection with somebody else.
Yeah.
And that is a total
you
lie.
will.
and you will. And it's even gonna be a even better connection,
Because now you have boundaries, and now you have expectations.
And like you said, boundaries are so important, especially now that you've learned your lessons, from your previous mistakes, or lessons, relationships. Yeah. That's when like, okay, I messed up on this. Maybe I shouldn't be this way with this one, or maybe I shouldn't overreact, or maybe I shouldn't bust out all my jealousy traits when this guy's not even doing anything. I'm just like reacting out of trauma. Yeah.
He also needs to step up to this level.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want a guy who's doing this.
So for example,
Right?
before I got with my husband, I didn't like the fact that he would I would be scrolling down Instagram and I would see him liking like girls in underwear or like bathing suits, or like making out, like just like weird, post that male like, and I told him straight up, like, hey, I don't like it. If you're gonna keep doing this, then I'm out.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not even gonna like I won't stress over this.
Yeah,
I'm like,
no.
this really like bothers me. Like, I'm not gonna do it. And he stopped like completely.
Good.
And I,
Nice.
if
You
to
teach
this
them.
day, yeah, it bothers me that I see like
Your
my
friend-
girlfriend's
yeah,
husbands
husbands.
liking, or girls that I like admire, and I'm like, what the heck are they? You know.
Aw.
But in the end, it's like you said, it's not every size fits all. Like, there's some people that are like open about that they're not jealousy,
Would
they don't
that
feel
be
jealousy
considered
of that.
cheating?
I don't think so.
Ooh, what
Wait,
is
would it be?
cheating?
Yeah. What
There's
is cheating?
emotional cheating. Is that a thing?
Oh, 100%.
I
And
believe
think-
so.
I think
I mean-
emotional cheating is a lot stronger than
Physical.
having a one night stand.
I don't know. I feel like the actual action is like, but also like sending a message to someone on Instagram. Like, some people think it's like, you know, it's not intense or it's not cheating, but to me it's like
it's
you're
cheating.
opening the door.
Yes.
Like, what are you doing conversating with this person that like it has nothing to do, or like liking their stuff or sending them little hearts, or like that's you like stepping over that line. Like, I feel that
I
way.
agree with that. I agree.
Or
I think-
liking like women in underwear or stuff like maybe it's not cheating, but
It's very disrespectful.
it's disrespectful.
disrespectful.
Exactly. It's not
It's
cheating.
different.
It's disrespectful.
You
Yeah.
are not respecting your relationship or your marriage by
Yeah.
doing that. And it was probably harmless, right? Like, he didn't know any
Yeah,
better.
yeah, yeah,
like, he
yeah,
was
yeah.
just like, I'm just liking
Right,
things.
yeah.
But then you told him your boundaries, and he respected your boundaries, and you explained your
Right, yeah.
your point of view. And hopefully he was like, okay, now I get it.
Exactly. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
exactly how it
So
was.
don't be afraid to communicate your boundaries.
Set your boundaries right. Like, hey, this is what I can tolerate. This is what I do not tolerate, and I don't want it. And if you want to keep doing it, that's
Yeah.
fine. But don't waste my time. And like, we'll cut it off like right here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you don't have to yell or scream when you set your boundaries. It can be an adult conversation, like, hey honey, you're doing something that's making me uncomfortable. I'd really like to talk to you about it. It doesn't need to be like, what the fuck are you doing? Like,
Yeah.
this bitch
Why did you like it?
You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like, go
Don't
into
go ghetto.
yeah.
Don't go ghetto.
You have to go into it knowing that you can't change a person, right? So you have to go into knowing you're going to have a conversation with somebody that you cannot change. And you have to put a boundary to let them know they cannot change you to accept them any way that they come. So when you have those clear conversations, you're basically saying, like I had a conversation with my husband when we were dating, you know, there was something that he had done. And I said, you know what? I am the type of a person that this is not going to be in my lifestyle. And so I don't think that we can go any further from here, because this is not the trajectory that I'm going to have in my future relationships. So I think this is the way you are, not trying to change that,
Yeah.
but this is not what I want in my life.
I love that. And in the end, like you said, women do hold a bigger power when it comes to that. So you get to choose, you get to set your boundaries, and you get to decide what it is that you want to allow and what it is that you don't want to allow.
And men fall in love with women who lead them and guide them into being better men too.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, they just feel like they're doing something more, and they're matching your love even stronger. So it makes them better men. And sometimes men they don't know what they don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they were not taught like that at home, they
Or
just
maybe
don't know.
they saw infidelity within their parents, or you know. So yeah, it's all a matter of choice within them as well.
Communication is key. Everything at the end of the day is how well you communicate and what you decide to
100%.
share. You know, everybody has their things at home. Some people have open relationships where those things,
Yeah.
that's their lifestyle.
That's their lifestyle, yeah.
Right? Nothing is wrong or right.
Right.
It is just making sure that you're communicating. And at the end of the day, you
That you're
feel
happy.
safe and you feel secure, and you're in a state
You're
of
generally
goodness
happy.
and love.
Yeah. Agreed.
Always honor yourself and your boundaries, and don't be afraid to voice those boundaries. And if you're in a really tough spot right now with your partner, I highly recommend couples therapy, individual therapy, and couples therapy. If you are going to plan to stay together, I think that's so key. So I hope that this was helpful for you all. Just know that we've all been there too, and it sucks. You can recover. You can find somebody else, or don't. There's plenty of women who are completely fulfilled and happy on their own, right? Like our whole lives don't have to revolve around finding a partner. So
Bosco.
get a dog or
Get a dog.
Get a cat, dog or a cat.
So thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next episode of What You Don't See.